Hey, all you groovy cats and kittens. Welcome back to the second episode of the Bravescast. I'm joined with Hayden today, and I'm also joined with a Mr. Riley. If you notice now, we're now in video format, which I think is pretty epic. Shut up. We're now in video format, which I think is pretty epic. Our first episode was going up on Spotify and Apple Podcasts only. You guys should check that out if you haven't seen it yet. I think it was a pretty good time. Let me segue into our guest, Mr. Riley. Why don't you introduce yourself?
What's going on, guys? I'm Riley Boyd. I'm the GA here, head of production as well, and the lead caster at Ottawa. I'm really looking forward to kind of being on one of the first non-introductory episode for the podcast, which is going to be fun, you know, kind of chatting about stuff. We've been talking about doing these podcasts for a while, so I'm excited to kind of get it going.
Can I immediately interject with something?
Yeah, of course.
My favorite thing, and this isn't a dig at you or anybody.
Oh, God.
My favorite thing is that whoever is the production manager depends solely on who you ask.
100%.
Wait, what do you mean? No. I'm listed as head of production.
Well, no,
You are listed as head of production.
But when you ask,
but if they ask
like,
Hayden, it's Hayden.
Yeah, no.
And if they ask me, it's me.
Well, no, when they ask, because when you have the players asking, hey, who's the head of production? They're never specific. Because let's be honest, we have you head of like streaming and stuff right now. And then, like, me and Lucas are,
But you guys are my content guys.
Exactly. But they never ask, hey, who's in charge of YouTube? Hey, who's in charge of stream? It's always, hey, who's head of production? So if they ask Lucas, Lucas says it's him. If they ask me, I just say it's me.
No, wait, what? No.
Let me be clear as to why I do this. I know why Hayden does it, because I'm going to assume it's the exact same reason. It's purely for simplicity. Mm-hmm. Because if they ask me who's head of production, I say, oh, it's Riley. They're going to say, I guarantee you, some of our very intelligent esports players are going to say, well, how do I contact him? And then it's going to be a question that I could have answered, and then I've wasted your time and everybody else's. When I say I'm head of production, 99% of the time it's a question for me, until it's not, and then I say it's a question for Riley.
See, I'm the same there, but like I've also had times where they ask like YouTube related questions, which I know you don't really want to handle. But like if I say I'm head of production, and then they ask a stream related question, I'm like, okay, so you'd have to talk to Riley about that one. But like, so about like 60-70% of the time, it's easier if we just say we're head of production, because when you say someone else's, then it's always, hey, can I speak to your higher up?
Can I talk to your manager?
Can I talk to your manager?
You see how it works. How it works is that we're head of production when it comes to making things, and then if anyone's in trouble, you're head of production.
Exactly. We're head of production until
it gets our asses bit.
Oh my gosh. Okay. You know what? That's fair. That's fair. Whatever works.
Oh, good.
So I guess we should get onto our first topic of why we really brought Riley here. Was he's kind of like more into like the actual program insights than we are. Realistically, because we just make people look good. Riley actually knows what goes into, I say what goes into, but like the background of each individual team and kind of like their gameplay. And
it's because of what happens with Ottawa Esports in terms of like actual esports stuff happens entirely on stream. Like 99% of the time, it either happens on stream or it happens behind the scenes. And we're working on YouTube stuff, so sometimes we're not in here to see that.
Mm-hmm. And I kind of handle, you know, even just outside of production stuff, you know, I handle a lot of the day-to-day stuff. I mean, I technically also am the arena manager as well, so anything, you know, after 5 o'clock is kind of, it's my domain, it's my territory. And I'm in here before that usually too, so I kind of, like, well, Sergio's running his stuff, and he's got his stuff going on in the office, you know, I kind of, the boots on the ground guy.
Yeah. Ottawa's the Braves Esports good boy.
I've always seen Riley as like Sergio's right-hand man. Like whenever he needs something, Riley's the guy to go to. Even though you are like classified head of production.
Dude, I feel like in my head now, just like you need to edit in like the Hamilton song "Right-Hand Man" and his right-hand man.
So give it exactly, what was that? 5 minutes until Hamilton quote.
What are we? Do we keep track of this? Is this something?
No, we're gonna start now, knowing you. Erase the chalkboard, set it back to 0.
Minutes since Hamilton quote with Riley. I don't talk about it that much. I like it, but it's the only.
I hate Hamilton
what
so much.
Oh my!
Is this what we're getting into? Is this what we're starting the
Oh
podcast
my
with?
gosh!
I hate Hamilton.
It's a good Broadway show, but like as like a legit Broadway fan, when Broadway goes mainstream, it ruins it entirely.
Oh. Like, here's the thing, just like using Broadway as an umbrella term and not necessarily talking about Broadway. When a Broadway musical goes Broadway, it's ass, immediately. As soon as it actually hits Broadway, it's awful. It's when it's in all the little theaters and it's making its rounds, it's great. But then it hits Broadway, and then they get a budget, and then there's 4 movies, and it's awful, and I hate it.
Cough, cough. Dear Evan Hansen. I haven't watched that, but from like the clips I've seen, it's not the musical.
Feel free to jump in, by the way, because this is going to be the entire podcast.
The thing is, I say I like Hamilton because like I'm not into musicals. My wife loves musicals. She's big on them. But like Hamilton's the only musical that I've like watched like all the way through that is a musical, not like a musical movie or whatever that like has some musical elements. Like Hamilton's the only one that I've been to, and I've like watched all the way through. And then I have a history degree. Like that's what I got my undergrad in. So it's like, of course, it's a history musical. I'm like, oh, this is my thing. Like hell yeah.
So when we're done with this, I'm going to put you on 2 different musicals.
Okay.
I'm putting you on The Music Man.
Okay.
And I'm putting you on $1 Million Quartet, which is going to be harder to watch because I don't think
if you want another history musical, Newsies is also.
Okay, actually no, I lied. I did see a smaller show production that if you're in Idaho, I saw it at Starlight Theater. You know, hashtag saw it at Starlight.
There's a Starlight Theater.
Yeah, I know.
It's not a musical house. It's an amphitheater.
Starlight Theater is a.
Oh wait, no, it's part of the Sprint Center. I can't remember.
It's somewhere around.
Yeah,
they've got so many dang arenas.
I don't care. I don't go.
Starlight Theater in Idaho is an outdoor amphitheater in Garden.
Starlight is up in Kansas City.
Okay, so that's one that's next to the Renfest area, then, right?
I think so.
No, this one is like legitimately in the middle of the mountains,
right?
In a forest. Like it's like a town of like 70 or 80 people, and then there's like a theater that everyone like drives like 2 hours to go to.
Yeah,
and it's just like outside. It's sick.
The only thing that happens at our Starlight Theater is absolutely nothing the week of the Renaissance, and then they have not a musical. They have a band come play the week after the Renaissance, and then that's it.
Wait, but they have the Renaissance Fair there?
Yeah, well, okay,
it's right next to it.
So here's how we do this, right? Here's how this goes, because we're in Kansas, right, where there's absolutely nothing.
Well, no, there's like occasional concerts.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, no, I just mean like...
Hey, Bastille's coming here in May.
I just mean like the lay of the land. There's like nothing.
Yes.
It's all wind and tornadoes, which is great. I love it. You're not from here. That's why
you're not my thing, but okay.
But we'll get on to tornadoes. I'm sure that'll come up. So a lot of places that have Renaissance fairs, it's kind of like a pack up and go Renaissance fair because it's a moving company for a lot of them. Like it's like trailers or tents or whatever that come out and set up their display, and then you walk in and it's like, oh, I'm in a Dodge Caravan. But
it's kind of hype.
Yeah, it's funny. I like it. It's cheap and I hate it.
They should be, if it's a Renaissance fair, they should be required to like do like horses and wagons to get in between to get in between their different sites.
Yeah, I was about to say. So here's how here's what this transitions to. The Renaissance Fair site that's up near Starlight Theater is permanent. All the buildings are permanently built.
Oh, I know where that is. Yeah. Okay, yeah, I know what that is. Yeah.
It's awesome if you go in there when it's not open. Not that I have, or not that I know people that have. But
hypothetically,
if I knew people that I actually have not done this. Hypothetically, if I knew people that did this, they say it's like a ghost town when you walk in because it's just it's like buildings. Like they're not insulated.
Is this gonna be like an Expo video where it's like creepy things from around the internet, like the abandoned Kansas City Renaissance Fair?
It's only creepy until you walk around for 5 minutes and then you see all the signs that were made in like the 90s that are all like inappropriate adult jokes that kids aren't going to get, and then you laugh and then you leave. Mm-hmm. It's pretty good.
Hypothetically.
So what were we actually going to talk about?
I was going to say, wait, I thought this was supposed to de-evolve after the esports talks. That's what I was told. So this is derailed quickly.
Like you said, we derail really fast.
It does not take much.
That's what I'm here for. We get back on topic. So what we were going to talk about were...
I was going to say, before we jump back up on topic, I should have mentioned this at the top.
One more thing.
I should have mentioned this at the top. Because we're doing video now, we now have 3 channels. We have left channel, which is going to be stage right channel, which is stage left, and then center.
Oh,
have fun editing.
That is true.
I don't know if
we're fancy now.
I don't know if it's going to be this way every podcast because I know this was kind of a last-minute setup since we wanted to set up somewhere else, but that spot was taken, so we kind of got thrown in here, and I had to...
But the thing is, this is a decent setup. I like this. Yeah, this is good.
I definitely don't hate this, but like I said, with that other setup, we would have had like wider cameras because I know from what I'm seeing on these 2 angles, like this camera's barely capturing me.
Yeah.
Yeah, but like with those, I'd have easier, wider angles in it. So like if we do that, that might just be a 2-camera setup, maybe 3.
We may work.
They're just gonna change venue, intro, everything on you guys without you knowing, and it's just gonna be every week is gonna be an adventure.
Welcome to the Bravescast, the podcast that doesn't stay stagnant at all.
Consistency is my enemy. So what were you actually gonna say?
Okay. So the first like
we derailed it right hand man, I think, because Hamilton.
Yes,
So
you said Hamilton
that was
and
your
my
fault.
blood boiled.
And we're back to Hamilton. No, I'm just
I have my reasons for hating Hamilton.
So
What were
we're gonna talk about some of our esports teams, where we are, because this is, I think, the Monday of the third week of semester.
Yeah.
Yep.
So now, obviously, because first episode, which hopefully will be going up this week, should be going up this week, was recorded over break just between you and me over Discord. Now,
Good job dating this episode, by the way. You've done that twice.
I've
now.
done that twice. All right, erase the whiteboard for that now too. But so yeah, I just lost my train of thought. Oh yeah, but now we've had our players back for a couple weeks, and we wanted to see like your thoughts on like any C placements, what you think all the teams are not qualified, capable of doing, where you think they'll place this year.
Yeah, I mean, I'm biased, of course,
Yeah.
because I get loyal to my teams to a fault almost. But I mean, you look at everything that we've got. We've got a top League of Legends roster this year. I mean, it's disgusting, which is exciting. They get to go to their first LAN coming up this week, which is going to be amazing. And getting to travel with the team and stuff, that's going to be cool. Rocket League, we brought in a really talented roster as well. They actually just won a tournament over the weekend that we didn't even know about until they told us later. They just casually in the Discord, oh yeah, we won, by the way.
Yeah, they're so talented they can join a tournament without saying a word and then just be like, oh yeah, there was a tournament and we won. And just
Pure professionalism from us.
Yeah,
all the time.
It was weird, but yeah. So the Rocket League team should be good. Valorant, I don't think we actually are competing this semester, which is unfortunate. But roster changes and stuff, we're just getting things solidified.
Rebuild, build back better.
Exactly, build back better. Our Overwatch team, as always, is going to be good when you've got people like Toki in charge. That's just the recipe for good success. Toki actually is competing in Apex and stuff as well. I know her team actually just is in almost up to top division in the Collegiate Apex series, which is insane. So I think that overall, we're in a place where we should be competing for, I would say, at least top 16, if not top 8, in championships in just about every single title, which is really exciting. I'm looking forward to that. Although my blood is boiling a little bit, the first power rankings for Call of Duty came out this year, and for the first time in over a year, we weren't number 1 or number 2, which is insane. That's all I'm going to say about it.
I overheard you talking about this with Sergio, and like I said, power rankings don't mean
yeah, I know, but
I know we don't get into sports much here, like official sports. But if you look at the NFL this past week,
we don't talk about the NFL here this weekend. After
you're just mad the Packers lost, but that proves my point. Did you see the power rankings?
We started talking about real sports, so I've checked out.
Lucas is like, yeah,
I'm good. I'll be on the red.
It was basically a full weekend that proved power rankings don't matter. That's what I'm trying to get at here.
That is true. How about that game? Am I allowed to talk about the Chiefs game?
Yeah, go for it.
That was nuts, right?
We had a 5-minute, we had a 10-minute discussion over musicals at the top of the podcast.
That game was insane.
You can talk about whatever.
that game was actually insane. I think that might be the greatest ending to a playoff game of all time.
I'd put it up there. I don't know. As I don't like the Patriots, but I will say the comeback against the Falcons does go pretty hard.
Yeah, but it's they had
overall, I wouldn't even say ending. Overall, I'd say that's a top 5 NFL game of all time.
Yeah, that game was nuts.
Because the only realistically from both sides, the only mistakes you really saw there was Harrison Butker missing a field goal and a point after. Otherwise, your offense is played perfectly.
I was gonna say no mistakes on the offensive side.
Yeah,
but
defense was a little rough, but
I saw a meme on Twitter where they edited a Kansas City headband on a Stephen A. Smith, and they were and he was kind of looking at the camera what the heck, and it was Stephen A. Smith, or Patrick Mahomes watching the secondary celebrate the Chiefs win. What are you doing? Well, I knew it was going to be nuts, though, because I went down to Power and Light District over the weekend, and the Bills Mafia was in force down there, dude. We were watching the game before, and there's a bunch of Chiefs fans, and they're all rooting for the Bengals to win so they could host, right? And then the Chiefs fans We're all doing like the
Tomahawk chop.
Yeah,
baby.
and then the Bills had the hey ho, go Bills, hey ho, and like they were like fighting back and forth. It was lit.
Oh yeah, so for anyone who's not around the Ottawa area, up in Kansas City, we've got like downtown KC, and there's a bunch of different districts. I know Lucas probably we can pull Lucas back into this conversation.
Lucas is like, now we're checking in.
But I've returned.
If you even if you just look up images, like look up KCMO Power and Light District,
It's insane.
It's great. I love walking
It's a
around.
bunch of restaurants. It's a bunch of bars. But like, if you have any sports events up in the KC area, that is the place to be. If you like a loud crowd environment and you can't actually be in that area.
So I haven't been up there a huge amount just because I don't sport.
Mm-hmm.
The Power and Light District is that one essentially like indoor mall.
Yeah.
It's
where
indoor,
it's
outdoor.
the big stage in the center.
Yeah.
That place is fun, especially really fun when you're under 21 and you just can't get into anything. There's like 3 restaurants there you can get into
Yeah,
if you're
that's
under
true.
21. The rest of them are just
like,
actual
like
bars.
if you when you hit 21 and like I know a big one that's been happening the past couple of years is the Big 12.
Yeah.
If you go on that weekend, there's so much to do. Like even
there's always
even
stuff
like
to
I
do.
know like you said you don't go for sporting events, but like I went. I don't remember. It was a couple of years ago, but like because the arena's right there. And they had a bunch of like fun events going on. Like they had 3-on-3 tournaments going. They had like I talked to Riley about this the other day. They had this full green screen thing where like you would film yourself doing a dunk, and it was a full green screen room. And they made like a cool animation with it, and you could pay like $20 and they'd email it to you.
Wait, they have a 3-on-3 tournament?
They did. I don't.
No.
No.
Yes.
No.
Yes.
I will cry.
Yes, dude, that would be elite. By the way, that would be elite.
Only Hayden will have a heart
No,
attack.
okay.
I'll be dead.
Okay.
And I don't know what the hell you'll be
Okay,
doing.
well,
I mean, I coached this
here's what I'm
basketball's my
saying.
thing.
The only way I'd even consider it is if we named our team the first round exit.
Okay, if you don't want to do it, we'll get Tanner to come be our point guard.
Oh my god.
That's unfair.
Dub. What do you mean? Point guards are Tanner. We know we love you, but point guards are supposed to be short, right? That's how this works.
They're also supposed to be good at basketball.
He could be gross. You never know. Have you ever seen him play?
Doesn't Tanner bowl?
Pretty sure Tanner's a bowler.
Okay, by the way, Ottawa is the first school that I have ever heard of that has like collegiate bowling.
It's a Midwest thing.
It's amazing.
Is it really?
Yeah,
Like,
my
we
high school had a bowling
like
team.
I was gonna say, like we had like a bowling alley on campus at Boise State, but like I literally saw it got used like 4 times, and 3 of those times were when I would go bowling with friends.
No, like I know like 2 or 3 like small like JUCOs that have bowling teams around here.
Wait, what are you guys' average bowling scores then?
I don't bowl.
Do you bowl?
Like average depends on the day, anywhere from like rough day usually like 70, good day anywhere from like 120 to 150.
Dude, if I break 100, like I'm unbelievably gassed.
That's what I'm saying.
Okay, that's okay. So it's not like a thing where like if I'm not like good at bowling, I'm
No.
just gonna be like immediately like ejected from the West. Like someone just presses a
Look,
button,
so-
I just get
so-
sprung back.
No,
to
that's
life.
if you don't
What
like
we're-
mac and cheese.
Yeah.
Oh, mac and cheese is hype. What do you mean?
So
Exactly, so you're good.
What we're saying about bowling is like it's there if you want to pursue it, but no one's gonna kill you if you don't.
Yeah.
Okay. I mean, I think it's super cool. I just had never heard of it being like a collegiate like.
I say it's a
athletic event.
Midwest thing. I would say it's most prominent in the Midwest. It exists elsewhere,
Yeah.
obviously.
I mean,
there are teams that come in from like California.
wait, do they get like as hyped at these like as like you see like when like the when
It's
those professional bowlers like that like they'll like bowl a strike like in like the 10th frame and they'll bowl like a 280 and like they like get up in each other's faces and start screaming. Like, do they get that hyped at these?
It depends on who's playing. It's somewhere between golf and basketball.
Yeah.
Which is a very wide berth.
Yeah,
I
you
get.
can't really.
I
put
get that
golf-
that's a very.
You can't really put
I get
golf
that,
and
but I
basketball on
give.
the spectrum
Give me a
with
second. I give it that wide berth because you've seen some of the footage of like professional bowlers where they're like
get
they're
gassed.
very calm. Well, no, they're very
Oh.
calm and concise, and every exact movement is perfect, and it gets there and it goes right down the middle, gutter, and then they just are like they kill someone. They just kill someone. They like there's a strangling on live TV, and everyone like yeah that's bowling.
Yeah.
Okay,
I
that's so
guess,
dumb.
but when you put golf and basketball, you're basically just covering the whole.
That's
spectrum.
why, because it's everywhere in there. I could, if you wanted me to be more accurate, I could have said tennis and basketball.
Well, it kind of seems like you're talking about strangling. I feel like we should
Well, I
go
feel
from
like-
golf to MMA. Like this is
feel-
like
I
it's
feel
like
like
UFC
tennis-
270. Like
No, because
on the
MMA
lanes.
takes like at least a minute.
I feel like tennis could be its own spectrum at the same time because have you ever seen like tennis players get mad? It gets heated pretty. quick.
they like slam their racket on the ground and like snap it. Like it gets crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's
Okay, I'm a
we were here and then the train just fell.
No,
There is no tracks.
yeah,
Have
no,
you seen that bit in Polar Express where the train's on the ice?
That's us. That's this podcast.
Can we get another whiteboard for Polar Express reference counter? If we're gonna do a Hamilton counter, we have to have a Polar Express counter.
That's the
first time I've talked about Polar Express in like 3 years.
It was the first time that we talked about Hamilton.
Okay, but I know you. I'm talking about outside the podcast.
Polar Express is lit. What do you mean?
I didn't say it wasn't. When did I say it wasn't?
All right, I'm pulling us back on topic. All right, let's get back to esports a little bit. So we talked a little bit about the rosters, and a couple new things we're getting this semester is a Halo team, which I know Lucas is excited about, and I'm also, because I think we're going to be casting that.
I'm
together.
making Hayden cast with me. Not because either of us know anything about Halo, but because it'd be funny.
Okay, wait, hold on a second. As head of production, I did not know this was happening.
I swear I've told you.
No, we've definitely told you this.
We've talked about this since before last year.
Oh boy!
Not before last year, but before
This happened since we developed our Halo team.
Essentially, as soon as there was talks about a Halo team, we've been talking about
Can we put you guys on like Rocket League?
No, I hate Rocket League.
Okay, well then I guess it's gonna be the Hayden and Lucas show live.
Here's why Halo
on Braves_esports.
Here's why Halo, right? I don't care about League. I don't know
anything about League.
I have an active hate for League of Legends.
You have to be smart to understand League of Legends. That's the thing. That's the problem.
You have to be smart. No, you don't.
There's so much that happens in that game.
It's not
I
you
could
have
make
to
a
be
comment
smart
right now.
about League
No.
of Legends.
That would
you
get
have,
us.
You have to be studied and well knowledge about League of Legends.
Being well studied in something doesn't necessarily mean you're generally smart. It means you're very well studied in that
that's
topic.
fair. That's fair.
I know some dumb League players.
Well, yeah. Okay.
Anyways, like I was saying, we don't generally care about League of Legends. I don't know enough about Overwatch's pro scene to actually do anything, nor do I... well, you played a little bit.
I've dabbled in the pro scene a little bit, but like I could manage Overwatch, but...
We've done Overwatch
I
before,
know.
yeah.
Yeah.
We got in trouble for being too loud that one time. Yeah, that was funny.
I don't really care about Rocket League or anything like that.
I
enjoy
Rocket League because it's one of the games I can just shout random BS because
Yeah.
there's so much, like, I say there's downtime in Rocket League, but like it's always, something's always happening, but that something isn't always exciting.
Yeah.
So there's a lot of downtime where you can kind of filler and just like have fun with it. But
So,
like,
I'm sorry to interrupt you, but I was going to finish this thought, otherwise
Yeah.
it's going to take another 15 minutes. So that essentially leaves us at Call of Duty and Halo.
Call of Duty's my baby. So you guys can't touch Call of Duty.
I love casting Call of Duty. The problem is that, not to say that we've lost our very exciting team from last year, but I think they've changed a little bit. So while it's not fun to cast, because it's still fun to cast, obviously. I like how you got very morose as soon as I said that.
Well,
it's instantly just like...
I'd still argue we've got...
No, we've still got a fun team.
Easily a top 5 team that's going to have...
No, I'm not saying they're not good anymore. Our team's great.
I think it's still going to be fun to watch.
Most of our banners up there are going to be caught. I can almost guarantee.
Yeah.
I think it's still going to be fun to watch for the next year or two at least before we have to start doing roster reworks after I assume people start graduating.
I was going to say, let me redefine what I said, and this might help you. Our COD team is not as chaotic as it used to be.
That's a good way to put it.
Well, I think it helps that it was how the CCLs run now, right? Because it used to be like you have 2 teams, like 2 varsity teams. Now it's like sunk down into 1 team, and like I do feel like, I wasn't here last semester, or last year I was here last semester. Oh, crap, I've already been here.
There were some high moments.
I feel like I can just tell like the energy was, like you said, chaos is the right word. Just like pure, just like
it was
molecules flying around everywhere.
There was a reason they hated us.
It
was funny.
I'd have to do my research, but if I remember right, there were at least 3 executions last year from us.
Oh, there was definitely more than 3.
More than 3?
If you're counting the top of the big, whatever the biggest COD tournament was we had last year, where it was gold and black against each other, there was like 12 that game.
Well, do you really count gold?
Yeah, because it's
funny.
funny.
we played KCAC this year, and the amount of executions we had in KCAC was ridiculous. Like they averaged like 3 a series.
Yeah.
Because it's just like,
it's a good meme.
COD was born on toxicity, and it can't ever step away from it as much as they want it to. Anyway, so like I was going to say, that leaves us... I'm not wrong, and you know it.
No, you're not wrong.
I've seen this discussion, too, where it's funny because, like, COD is what developed truly developed esports.
I would say it's COD and CSGO.
Into what it is today, and League of Legends.
Well, I was going to say League and Dota and... StarCraft
well,
and
Dota, yeah, not so
But
much
like
anymore.
realistically, you'd argue COD has really allowed esports
Brought it into the public eye.
Yeah, and to be what it is today.
And
But
then the CDL has killed it. This is a moratorium for Call of Duty now. This is what it's a funeral.
And there goes our participation in the CDL.
Exactly. But as I was saying, like it's what's really formed esports today, which is awesome. But it's also like the most toxic game ever. I can't say most, but it's definitely up there with the most toxic game.
It's the most toxic game between teams. Because I would say I would say Overwatch is the most toxic game.
Wait,
That's between players.
Have you guys never... Okay, you must have not played League of Legends.
No, because I don't like League.
You must have not played League of Legends.
League of Legends is self-toxicity.
Okay,
League of Legends, I am self-defined terrible at League of Legends. Like, literally, maybe the worst League player of all time. I went 0-25 in a game one time. And if you play League, you understand how absurd that is. Because nobody dies 25 times in a game. The amount of times that I, got called terrible things in that chat for no reason, just because I'm a new player. Like, I'm like a level 7 Lux, and everyone's like, this guy sucks, he's terrible. It's
realistically, if you're going to make, like, a tier list of toxicity, League is definitely top. Right below it, it's, like, close, though, is the Overwatch community. If we're talking, like, communities alone. League, Overwatch. Below that, I'd say probably Valorant's pretty close, just because it's another, like, nothing against Riot. I love Riot games, but their games are so freaking toxic.
Because their games, because you have to be good at games to be good at their games, so it's like, it's frustrating.
Like, it attracts all the diehard sweats who think they're good, but in reality, they're just as bad as you, but since you're doing worse than them...
It's a built competition shooter, like
exactly.
CSGO.
And then, like, lower... Like, CSGO's pretty casual. Like, yeah, you get...
CSGO is definitely mellowed out. You
get some shit talkers, but you never get, like, the death threats you would in League.
You don't get anyone sending you your IP address.
Exactly.
that has not happened to me.
Those are always the funny moments, because you're like, oh, thanks, I didn't know that.
Yeah.
I heard, I was listening to another podcast that I listened to called The Yard, and they were talking about...
Ludwig Stan.
Yeah, you know it. They were talking about old CSGO, like how you could be super toxic in it, right? And they were talking about people used to link like audio memes to keybinds. Oh, so every time you'd like click a keybind, like the entire lobby would hear like I still do that
in other games.
Like they were talking about like the emotional damage meme.
Emotional damage.
Yeah, like they were talking about how like that would just be like
that would have run rampant.
No, I heard it was nutty. I heard it was insane, and they were all sad that you can't do it in Val anymore, or like ever. And I'm like, oh my
God, you can very easily.
There's ways to do it.
Like just if you.
It's not as hard. It's not as easy anymore because it's not a source game.
I truly and honestly hope that I never have to deal with that because I'm already so bad at that game.
I could literally.
I couldn't handle it.
I could literally show you exactly how to do it, and the only
I think we both know the program because we both paid for it.
Mm-hmm. It's not hard.
Don't get yourselves arrested here live on TV.
No.
The SWAT's about to come through the door.
It's 100% legal.
It's a legitimate safe program.
What is it?
Essentially, it's called Voice Mod. Essentially, it was built to replace the Go XLR Stream Deck.
But it's like a software. And like so like you can do like fancy mic effects and stuff on it. So it was
built by Voice Meter, which is the same people that make Voice Meter Banana.
Mm-hmm. But like I can do a bunch of like funny sound effects, and then on top of that, it also comes with a pre-built soundboard. So the whole idea is, since it's like its own little box, you run your microphone into it, and then it puts that into your system.
It's basically a digital mixer with all the mixer stuff taken out and extra voice modifications.
Exactly.
Interesting.
And then on top of that, the paid version, you can get a little sound effects button, which you bind all these little things to, and
Oh gosh, I could already see that just de-evolving into just pure chaos.
Mine's a bunch of SpongeBob memes.
So to run it back to what I was originally saying, the reason why I choose Halo specifically is because...
we were on that.
Yeah, we should have a counter for that.
What is that, like 3 or 4?
Yeah, we're already 3 diversions deep. I choose Halo is because Halo is coming back into the competitive scene, meaning it's 100% going to be chaotic. There's no way it isn't.
Yeah,
I would be shocked if everything... I'm not even talking about the technical side of stuff. I'm talking about gameplay. I would be shocked if it runs smoothly. I would be shocked if there isn't just the most toxic stuff ever. My very first game of Infinite, my very first game of Online Infinite, I got called racial slurs after I just completely got trashed.
I mean, that's not surprising.
It was great. It felt good. I felt at home.
Welcome back to Esports.
Exactly. It was a welcome return.
I mean, I'm not surprised. I mean, it's sad that runs rampant, but like I'm not surprised that that's the case. I mean,
Yeah.
I know that like at least at the professional level, HCS was so good. Like the videos that I saw. I mean, I didn't watch a ton of HCS, but that first event in Raleigh looked unbelievable. And then of course, like the fact that they were able to bring in people like Formal to come and play, which is crazy. I mean, that is a huge name in the Call of Duty community. I mean, yeah, he retired because Vanguard is terrible. I don't.
Well, that's another topic we can get to. But finish your point.
No, that it's just kind of
Well,
Vanguard's not that good, but like.
Now that you brought up Call of Duty, we can also talk about something else that happened recently. The fact that Microsoft has bought out Activision.
I was
going
to mention that.
Yes.
We have been saved.
We have.
We've not quite yet.
No, I think
there's a lot. There's
okay.
a lot of good changes.
Overwatch 2 is coming out next month. Dang it! Okay.
I'm convinced that was a ploy for marketing, just to keep it so Blizzard wasn't going under at this point.
Okay, wait. Question: do either of you actually think Overwatch 2 has like a legitimate is there a platform for it? Does it exist?
It'll exist in competitive. I don't see it taking off casually.
No, is it a thing right now? Is there a
yes.
game?
Oh yeah, there's definitely a game.
They've put gameplay, so they at least have the engine and all the models built together. I don't know how far along it truly is, because obviously any competent game studio can be like, all right, let's just build a level super quick that people can play.
We haven't even heard anything about private testing or anything.
Exactly. We haven't seen anything.
Granted, Blizzard's always kind of been.
Yeah, we haven't seen anything since the last in-person BlizzCon, which I don't believe was 2018, 2019.
They canceled one not that long ago, right?
Last year, no. So they had 2019 was the last in person. 2020 was online, and then 2021 they canceled BlizzCon
because they just had nothing to show.
Exactly, which
that's why I'm is Overwatch 2 even real?
Well, around the time they canceled that BlizzCon was, and we're not going to get into the controversies.
Oh yeah,
we'll be here for
all that stuff.
That was around the time a bunch of that was happening.
Yeah,
so it was probably just a way of avoiding bad PR, which I don't blame.
But
yeah, that was not a good time.
Going back to the point I was talking about Activision and Vanguard, the other big announcement I saw is Microsoft is trying to push Activision to no longer doing yearly Call of Duty releases, which I think is what the game needs, realistically.
The yearly Call of Duty releases worked when it was the big three.
Yes.
And the big three had essentially... Because when you had the yearly releases with the big three, each individual company had 3 years to work on a game, which is more than enough time. Especially for a COD-based game.
But even when they do rotate studios, it still hasn't,
Well, no, okay,
so
do you know... Here's the problem,
right?
Do you know what happened with Vanguard, though? The studio that originally was supposed to just said, "Oh yeah, our game's not done."
It was Sledgehammer, was it not?
I believe it was.
Yeah.
It was either Sledgehammer or Ravensoft. I don't remember which one. But they're like, "Oh yeah, our game's not done." And then Activision was like, "Oh hey Treyarch, do you have a working game?" And they're like, "Not really, but here you go." And
So the big three, if I remember right, and it's been a long time since I've stepped away from COD. The big three it's Activision, Sledgehammer, and Treyarch, right?
No, it's
or is it Activision Treyarch?
Activision Treyarch combined,
right?
Yeah.
And then it's Ravensoft and it's Sledgehammer.
Well, I was talking about more back in the day.
I think those two have been around for a while.
Because I know because Black Ops 2 era is what I mean.
Yeah, because Ravensoft made Ghost,
and Sledgehammer made AW and IW.
Yeah. So anyway, where I'm getting at with this is Activision has turned into money grubbing and bad PR.
Mm-hmm.
Sledgehammer games are made almost entirely by Ravensoft now.
Yes.
And Ravensoft is just hoping for the best. They are trying their hardest. God, good lord.
Well, I heard that now they're all going to be forced to work together.
Yeah, because they're all owned by Microsoft now.
Which is so good.
Well, I think they're all owned by Microsoft. Is Ravensoft?
I think they were. I think
they already were.
I don't remember if they were just partnered with Activision. I can't remember. But yeah, I'm super excited for the next Call of Duty game if all three of those companies are working together, and if all combined they have multiple years to put together a Call of Duty title.
The only problem is we're supposed to be getting a continuation off of MW 2019, which is just why.
It's because so they can keep pumping money into Warzone.
Yeah.
So they don't have to migrate Warzone to a new engine.
No, they announced that they're migrating Warzone into its own thing, and so it's going to be its own deal. So they announced that Warzone's coming out with a whole new game. That was part of the leak. Was they're going to get away from having Warzone be linked to Modern Warfare.
We'll see about that.
They've already kind of started that because like now when you launch like Modern Warfare, it brings you to basically a Call of Duty launcher where you can launch Vanguard from the game, you can launch Modern Warfare.
Well, that's been happening since
Modern Warfare.
Yeah, since Modern Warfare and Warzone.
But I think that I would imagine that they want to move away from it because they're not really updating actual like Modern Warfare multiplayer and stuff. So what is the point of the game? Like, and
to act as the backing engine.
Yeah, but it's not. But
which is bringing them all their money.
But it's not. But it's not even on Modern Warfare engines anymore.
Speaking of Warzone,
oh right, yeah, it did get.
Speaking
transferred.
of Warzone,
it got transferred.
Speaking of Warzone, #kill the battle royale.
Battle Royale's done. Are we done?
I'm so done.
Are we out of it?
I mean, I like
the last good battle
royale.
Okay, Warzone is like Warzone's fun, but that's just because how chaotic you can make it.
Warzone, okay, Warzone would be, in my opinion, Warzone would be like a 9 out of 10 game if they could control their hackers.
Warzone would be a 9 out of 10 game if it wasn't Activision and everyone involved.
Wait, when was the last time you played Warzone?
A month ago.
No, Ricochet. Since Ricochet's come in, there's like no hackers. I am one to complain about hackers. Like, don't get me wrong.
How long ago did Ricochet come in?
Probably about a month ago.
I was reading about it about a month ago.
How long was the game out before Ricochet?
Yeah, exactly. I know. That's insane to me, by the way. That we went that long without an anti-cheat.
That's so disgusting. I'm happy they didn't use BattleEye, which is owned by whatever that I don't like. Blizzard, yeah, which is owned by whatever that big conglomerate is, the big scary one that no one likes, that I forget the name of. The one that's in China.
I don't know.
What game was just bought? There was some big company, there was some huge game that just came out that everyone was excited for that got bought by them and it got review bombed, and I can't remember what it was.
Was it a Cyberpunk? Was it the game with people that?
It was Back 4 Blood. Back 4 Blood got bought by somebody. They got bought by one of those big scary conglomerates that exists in China that purely exists for profit or whatever. Blizzard's owned by them as well. Not owned by them. They own a stake in the company.
Yeah, but not anymore though, right? Because now Microsoft owns it, so we're good.
Yeah, well, here's the thing, is that I think the overhead owns not Microsoft, but I think they have stakes in Microsoft's gaming division.
Okay, sounds about right.
But Microsoft is transferring into a gaming company at this point anyway, which is cool. I think that's neat.
It is cool.
So now I got a question for you guys, which is super hypothetical. I don't know if this would realistically ever happen. But do you think Microsoft ever attempts to buy out the PlayStation?
No. Sony makes way too much money.
It's not even that. Why would Microsoft kill their competition? Competition is what generates sales.
It's true.
Like with nothing for the Xbox to compete against, why would you buy it? Is the thing, because at that point it becomes a battle between. I don't even count Nintendo in this battle because Nintendo's its own monster.
Nintendo's like
Nintendo does whatever it wants, and they rack in billions.
Company, and everyone will always.
Nintendo can hand you a covered piece of paper. And we would buy it in thousands.
I thought you were gonna say. I thought you were just gonna leave it at Nintendo's like the family and like it'd be like the mafia family.
No,
because they kind of are. But
Nintendo's like that awkward cousin we leave in the corner who like will never go away, but we still love them.
We can't tell them no.
Exactly.
Where was I going? I immediately forgot what I was
saying.
saying.
We were talking about competition between PlayStation.
So the only competition Xbox would have at that point would be PC, which is also Microsoft, more or less. So why would Microsoft generate internal conflict with themselves when they could?
But then at that point, why do you care? Because you're still making money from everything.
It's just I don't think it's not wise for them to buy out Sony. And Sony also is like one of the second largest manufacturer of things in the world, behind like Panasonic.
Plus, I mean, the other thing is as well, realistically, how far are we away from consoles just really not even being relevant? I
don't know, because here's my thing, is PC with everything that's been happening, PC had this sort of dip in in superiority, which is what I call it.
Yeah.
Because for the longest time, PC was just this. I mean, regardless of how you think about it, it was the superior option depending on how you viewed things. It was cheaper in the long run. Games were generally cheaper depending on how you bought them, and it
quote
was
unquote bought.
No, I'm talking about like Steam sales and stuff.
Yeah.
Or if you're a bad boy, and longevity, because you own your PC and you upgrade it for like a third of the price of a new console every 5 years or something like that, if that. It had that lull when the supply chain basically shit out, because the 30 series of graphics cards, which were supposed to be like the savior of the PC industry, it was going to be, you could have true budget entry to the PC industry again, because the PC industry has been weirdly hyper fixating on the high end. those just were pushed to the high end because of demand. So it had that lull where console, I think, really stepped in, and stuff like the PS5 and the Xbox, whatever the new Xbox is, I don't care.
What is it? Series X?
Xbox
now?
Series X? I don't know. Get better naming conventions, Microsoft. Series X sucks.
720 was the name. Like,
keep it
come
running
on.
with the numbers, and it would have been funny and good.
I missed the good old days where everyone was theorizing the Xbox One would have been the Xbox 720. It was going to be a
Xbox.
spear.
Okay, good lord, Microsoft. I love Microsoft. Like, they're genuinely doing good things right now. I hate their naming. Their PR team is god awful. Like, it's their game.
How do you go from such a cool name of the Xbox 360?
360 is like the perfect name for a console.
But technically, if you're thinking like mathematically, 360 is the same as one. Just saying, it's a full like degree.
Well,
full rotation.
You've gone so far above my head now.
Here's my theory on it. Here's my PR theory, because this is one of the things that I participate in. 360 is more or less, I would say, like the perfect name for a console. The perfect like tagline for a console. The perfect end subject, whatever. Because what they do by calling it that is that you 360 circle, encompass, around. By calling it 360, you really give it this idea of everyone is included, regardless of what it is. Now,
you've already thought way more into this
well, here's
than
the
I
thing.
ever.
Welcome to theory.
Yes.
Now here's the thing. PlayStation 3 and Xbox 360 owners at the time would not have bought into that. But nowadays we see it where it's like Microsoft and Sony are buddy-buddy. Like, I would not be... Like, as PlayStation loses its exclusives to Microsoft because it's just not profitable anymore.
Yeah.
You start seeing that toxicity of, like, this versus that go away. I forget what my original point was that I was talking...
Naming.
PC, well, no, it was the PCs versus everything else.
Yeah. I mean, I still think that eventually we're getting to the point where PC's just like the top. Like, you can't play competitively on console anymore. Like, okay, so like if you're playing a game like Call of Duty or Valorant or Overwatch, where frames are so important, right? It's like, okay, if I'm on a PS5, I can get 120 frames on Warzone. That's what it maxes at. Like right now, my 1660 Super that's in my PC can give me about 120 frames on Warzone. So it's like the low end PC that I have is already competitive with PS5. It's like, that won't ever be able to, like, we can't ever have a game that can compete with on console versus PC competitively. It just can't, it just doesn't work unless you eliminate PC from competition in general.
So here's my argument for that, is that Xbox has already incorporated the fact that you can play with a keyboard and mouse, so that more or less eliminates the, like, what you can play with.
But like at that point, just like I understand, like it would be cheaper, but if you're
well, that's not my main argument.
Well, you know, if you're buying an Xbox just to play with keyboard and mouse, that like takes away a big like what a console is.
Yeah. But what consoles allow you to do is, I mean, and there's gaming computer companies that'll do this too. Like Omen does it. HP is owned by Omen, isn't it? I can't remember.
Yeah.
All the big companies will do it. It's not hard, but it just makes it easy when you have consoles. Is it lets you buy or rent in mass a bunch of a console, use it for a tournament, and then send it back, and that way you're ensuring that every single thing is exactly the same, and that you're not going to have any advantage, like illegal advantages or disadvantages that come with the potential of doing PCs.
But like we do that already now, like with all the Call of Duty stuff. It's all that way with all the Overwatch stuff, with all the Valve stuff. I mean, it's all this. I mean, like that's where we're at now, though. Like people don't bring their own stuff.
Yeah.
So like I just think that we're going towards that now.
I still see consoles being around for quite a long time, just because the stigma of PCs being hard to build and expensive to build is still around, and I think that's going to be around for quite a long time.
Do you think that things like NZXT and like some of the higher end pre-built companies, which we all have our own opinions on pre-builts, and I don't necessarily disagree with them, but
I think for those to really come into the market, either they have to get to the point where pre-builts that are at least like equal value or like equal hardware to a PS5 or Xbox One can't be much more than like $100, $200 more than the current consoles.
Yeah.
That's when those pre-builts start coming into the argument. But until then, the big thing that a lot of the PC users are looking at is, hey, I can get these super fancy graphics, or I can do all this, and like I'm willing to pay all that extra money. But if you're just like a 14-year-old kid who's got a couple extra $100 to spend, why would I do that when I can just get the same enjoyment for cheaper with like an Xbox or a PlayStation?
Do you guys think that the fact that like esports like as like a competitive like thing is becoming more like culturally normal is gonna play a role into that? Because I mean, what do we even have any like actual like real competitive esports that are played on console anymore? COD is not now. COD's gone. Overwatch is on PC. I mean, you can't play Val on console. You can't play CS on console. Dota's on PC. League's on PC. We don't have an esport that's on console anymore.
CS:GO for Xbox 360
and PS3. Yeah, I was thinking that.
I forgot those even existed. Oh my gosh, I forgot that existed.
When the first time I saw that online, I thought it was virus. I had no.
It's
faith.
so funny.
Yeah. So, but like what I'm getting at is like now that like we're getting more and more people that are watching these things, like we're gonna get more and more people that want to compete in these things, right? So at what point do we see people want to be like the pros and start being like, "Mommy, Daddy, buy me a 3060 Ti with a i9 in it for Christmas," instead of, "Mommy, Daddy, buy me a PS5."
So I think esports becoming more public has actually done the opposite. Because if you look back in like the 2012-ish era, around then when esports was like really hitting a high, and but it wasn't like the mainstream thing yet.
Yeah,
I wouldn't even call it mainstream now, but it's more public. But back then
Thanks,
when that
Ninja.
was,
I don't see enough movement.
Shut up. Back then, it was really like every generation has their rebellious thing.
Yeah,
and I think that was really it. I think that was one of the big ones. Why would I go to a 9-to-5 job and deal with all this adult stuff when I could go play video games and make money doing it that way? What I think you're thinking of that is bringing more of that into is what everyone's current like the kid dream job is now is streaming. Like every kid wants to be a streamer now. Like 5 years ago it was everyone wants to be a YouTuber.
Yeah.
And 10 years ago it was everyone wants to be a pro video game player.
I think that...
And I'm not saying, like, any of those have, like, decreased ever since the new one, obviously. I think there's more professional players now than ever. But what I'm saying is that I think the streaming platform has opened that up. I think that is what is opening it up instead of esports becoming more public. I think as esports becomes more public, it's correlation, not causation.
Yeah.
As esports becomes more public, the amount of influence that esports brings in solely from esports, I think, goes down. But I think that's correlation. I don't think that's causation. Of course, I barely pay attention to esports, so who knows how right I am.
I mean, I don't know. I don't disagree with that. I think that's an interesting. I think we'd have to look at that. I mean, that's something that I can't just like definitively just be like, "Oh yeah, you're right," because I don't know. I don't know. I mean, you watch a little bit. You probably watch more esports than I do.
That's cap.
You think?
Yeah.
I watch our stuff.
That's fair.
Well,
that's a great example.
I watched Overwatch League for a little bit, but then, like, with how Overwatch has gone in the past year, I stopped watching it. I watched Pro Val.
What was it was TK was the team that was owned by Kostif, right? Like, that was, like, back in the day. That was the last time I watched professional esports.
That was before.
Does TK even compete in anything right now?
I'm going to be honest, I've never heard of TK. And
they were a kind of an underground team that were really there just to mess with people.
It
was COD.
Yeah, I was going to say. Well,
they were good in COD. They were a good team.
Yeah,
I didn't.
But they weren't
they
weren't like Optic.
Well, you want to know? They were like T4 and champs at one point, I think.
Well, yeah, but I don't mean in like scope and true size.
Oh, yeah. Nothing's like Optic.
If you want to know my intro to esports, it was when I found out. Like, obviously, I watched like gaming videos and stuff back on YouTube back in the day. But my true intro to esports was when I found out it was a thing at this college 2 years ago.
Yeah, I mean, mine was when I started watching Black Ops 4. I mean, I've done a lot of his homework on it since, and I've watched a lot of old stuff and I've learned about it. But yeah, Black Ops 4 for me.
My first entry to like esports was I didn't even really know it as esports. I just knew it as clans. Yes, back in the Black Ops 1 days, when everyone had their own little clan. Yeah, and it was really just like it was almost like a trading baseball cards thing at least, where it's like I have these, therefore I am professional, which is not at all what what it
you
really
could
was
definitely make a better analogy.
Yeah, well, I mean it's an awful analogy, but that's what I'm good at is making bad analogies.
It's like saying a participation medal having wearing that. And
Yeah,
saying,
yeah.
I'm the best at this.
Yeah, well, it wasn't even really that much. It was like, I'll tell you exactly what it is.
It's an NFT.
It's like going to It's like going to a sports event. It's like going to a sports event where people are like, that guy's doing amazing. He's really good at his stuff, and then being like, I can do that.
Yeah.
That's exactly what it was. It was everyone just doing it because that's what was popular at the time for youth.
It's like the equivalent of buying a buying a team jersey is like supporting your team. But like,
No, I think to be really self-centered, I think what I said was the best.
Yeah.
No, you're not wrong. You're not wrong. Well, because it's like anyone could go to an MLG event. Like,
Yeah.
like anyone could go to.
There are open tournaments everywhere.
Yeah, it's like any. I miss that, man. You're just making me hurt now because I miss how COD used to be.
Oh, COD was fantastic.
It was so good up until Modern Warfare, and that's what I was talking about the CDL. Like Call of Duty League, you screwed it up, man.
You know what?
You screwed it up.
You know what almost took that slot for a little bit?
What?
It was Rainbow Six. I don't know if you ever went and saw like
Some of
Rainbow
those,
Six
like-
live
Dude,
games. They get
Sieges-
so toxic. They get so like
You know, okay.
you go like back in the day. You'd go to a COD game.
Like you talk about that, but like not even Rainbow Six in general. But the thing that popped in my head is if you've ever been to an Australia LAN or seen videos of it.
That's
Dude,
Australia in
Aussies,
general.
yeah, that's true. Aussies go hard, man.
Dude, I've heard stories about like Australian Smash tournaments.
I just want to go to an Aussie LAN for any game where Aussies are competing. It's the best thing ever. You just need to look at clips.
It's the funniest.
Yeah. Yeah, I just miss like the fact that like because esports has become so market like it's a market now like and like whether or not that's good or not, you know, I mean it's $25 million to get into the Call of Duty League now is what $20 million to get into OWL in that form. Like that is so much money. That is so much money. Like that does create a barrier to entry because like, you know, before like, you know, we could get you, me, Hayden, and I don't know, Austin. We could go get Cruelty, and we'd be like, "Hey guys, we're gonna go like enter in MLGKC, and like if we place well enough, like we're gonna play on the main stage."
Well,
like
see,
that you can't do that anymore.
See, I think a lot of people don't look at least I don't know for Call of Duty, but there are some other games where like I know Overwatch is a good example of this. They have their open league, and then for what you can't really get through into the Overwatch league from this without just creating a team. But like there are still very well opportunities that like you can promote your stuff like this because Overwatch, a big one with this that I don't know if they're still doing, but I know last year they did it, was the Overwatch Opens, which you'd get a team together and then like I think it was like the top 6 out of that got a spot in Overwatch Contenders, and then from there Contenders is like your minor leagues for the Overwatch
Right.
league. And that's like how you get your footing into the Overwatch League where you could get drafted. Obviously, you're right. You still have to pay like $20 million and get all these sponsorships if you still want to create your own team. But
Yeah.
What it used to be back in the day, and I think what what really kind of cemented it for a lot of people that like this is such an available option is because it was it used to be you could just go to. You could just go to any open LAN tournament where it was like solo entry or whatever, some local thing, and you just go and you just play, and talent scouts would be everywhere.
Yeah.
And they would be like, "You're good. I'm gonna take clips of you with your permission," which never happens. I'm gonna take clips of you and I'm gonna put them in various spots, and then people see them, and then you get contacted from like.
Yeah.
Maybe even the event organizer from like some place that's like 2 states over, and they're like, "Hey, you're really good. Come play here for us, so we get some more because you'd be funny to watch or whatever." And eventually, at some point, you just get seen by a team captain, or at least that's how it used to be. You get seen by the main team captain for like to put it really in the exaggerated spot. You'd get seen by the team captain for FaZe's COD team, and they'd be like, "You're good. We're gonna try you out and see what happens." And it's the same. It was the same thing with like it's almost beat for beat the same thing as acting, where people would be like, "I'm gonna go perform at my local theater, or I'm gonna go perform at my local music hall, and I'm gonna keep doing it, and eventually I'll get seen. And once I'm seen, I'm out there, and people know me."
It's kind of that way still, though. Like,
It never truly went away, especially now with how the internet is and how easy it is to get yourself out there.
well, you say that, but with how
It's also,
oversaturated everything.
Well,
is,
that's the other thing is that with as easy as it's become, it's also become 10 times as hard.
Yeah.
Just because There's only so much room.
You just have to truly and honestly be gross at the game to get a shot at anything. You have to be disgusting.
There's also a huge luck aspect involved nowadays too.
Oh yeah.
You have to be able to team with the right people, and you have to be able to you have to place well and
you also
whatever
like,
you're playing.
Getting seen is a big part of luck. Okay, for a second.
Getting seen by the right people too.
For a second, I'm gonna put a pin in this conversation for half a second. I forgot to do that at the beginning.
Oh,
it
yeah.
makes my life easier.
We definitely didn't do
All right,
that.
I'm taking the pin back out. Now we can continue.
Sound speed.
Well, I was gonna say we're gonna talk about this for another like 40 minutes if we keep talking about it.
I was
Yeah,
gonna
we
say,
should
yeah,
probably
I've got class, and
Yeah,
that's the fun part about doing these podcasts, right? Is
We've
you gotta
got
work
another
around
half
class
an hour.
schedule.
Yeah, we've got another half an hour. I don't know if that camera's gonna survive because we're on scuff charger because that's not the actual camera charger, but it should work fine. It said it's charging, so
Fingers crossed.
It says it's got 70 minutes left. We're good. Actually, if it's plugged in, it shouldn't say how much time it has left.
So it's not.
plugged in.
It's not.
So it's
plugged in.
not charging.
well, no, this one. Okay, yeah.
Well, GG there.
Whatever.
I tried. It fit. It looked right.
Do we want to try to do a little bit of video game news? Does anyone have any big stuff other than Microsoft?
Well, we talked
thing?
about Microsoft.
We talked about Microsoft.
I'm trying to think of anything big that's happening in the next upcoming.
So, I know you have VR.
Yes.
I have VR. I don't think you do.
I do
Are
not.
we gonna talk about the metaverse?
No. Do you remember the game Walking Dead Saints and Sinners?
Yes, I've never played it.
That's getting a sequel, apparently.
Ooh.
So Walking Dead Saints and Sinners, this came out like 3 years ago, something like that. I think it was,
Back
it was
when-
less than that. It was like 2 years ago.
Yeah, it's pretty recent, but it was back when like VR started really growing because
It was
like,
after it.
Yeah.
Because the Quest 2 was out by the time Saints and Sinners came out.
No, I think it was right before Quest 2.
It was around the same time.
Yeah.
It was a VR Walking Dead game, and it's fantastic. It's terrifying. I haven't made it more than 10 minutes into the game because I'm not a very brave person.
So when we gotta play Phasmophobia in VR sometime?
That's not scary though. It's just I hate Phasmophobia.
Dude, okay, I told Serge, by the way, that he needs to do a VR, like, Phasmophobia stream or a VR, like, FNAF stream or something, and he's always like, no, I don't want to, I'm too scared. I'm like, dude,
Bro,
you literally play all these great horror games on stream.
You don't understand. So, like, I'm right there with Lucas where I'm terrified. I've played Phasmophobia in VR one time, and it was with two of my friends, and I was like, it wasn't even like that the game scared me. I was so horrified that the game was gonna scare me. I was like so anxious. My anxiety
you work
was
yourself
so
up
high.
so much.
Like I was getting scared by my teammates.
Dude,
That's how bad it was. They
you
scared
guys-
me more than the ghosts.
Do you guys play with lights off and, like, everything? Like,
No,
like
I don't play horror games.
No,
Okay.
horror games suck. Like,
God.
all right, I'll shout this out. Like, if I hit 1,000 on YouTube, I might do something stupid like that. But
The only like horror game that I played is a battle royale, which is actually one of my only battle royales that I think is good, and it's Hunt Showdown.
Oh, I thought
That-
you were
that
going to
one's
say
not-
Fortnite X Zombies
no,
or
Hunt
something.
Showdown's not bad. I want, especially since you got VR, I feel like it would be cool if we squatted up in what's it called, Population 1.
I've seen about it. I've seen a lot of both ways, whether or not it's good or bad.
I want to at least try it.
If
with
it's on sale,
someone.
yeah, I'll grab it.
Because like that seems like a fun one you could just meme in a Discord call. Because I know you've got permanent paraglide or squirrel suits, and you just
Yeah, that would be good.
game review.
Let's.
That would be a really funny video.
Don't get me started.
That would be a really fun. Hayden and Lucas's game review segment would be really funny.
We have things to say about that that I'm not going to mention here.
Oh no.
Let's all get a collective groan out. There's going to be a Rabbids movie coming to
Yeah.
Netflix.
Well, we're already getting.
Ubisoft's Rabbids.
Yeah, I never played it.
Yeah.
I have not played hardly any Ubisoft games ever.
Well, we're already
just
getting the
because-
Chris Pratt Mario, so this shit.
That-
How
Hey,
dare you talk?
I was
that
gonna
up.
say, dude, that is god tier. What do you mean?
You definitely know what Rabbids are.
You know,
You've seen them.
do you know like the white bunnies that go crazy and don't speak like proper?
Oh,
close.
wait,
There's
the
a
ones-
Nintendo game. with
Yeah, wait, the
there was an
one-
XCOM
Mario
clone.
and Rabbids.
Yeah.
Is there, they had like a
I'm gonna get so much flack for calling
Did-
Mario and Rabbids an XCOM clone.
wait, did they have like a band game or something like that? Where, like they like danced to. I just
Yes.
remember. I remember Britney
Yes,
Spears'
it was.
"Toxic" was on there. I remember that, and that was when I first heard that song.
That
And
wasn't,
like,
that wasn't a
That was,
band game.
that was a Raymond game.
No,
that was the Raymond and Rabbids, wasn't it?
yes.
Yes.
Wait. Oh, so that. Wait,
No,
we're getting
it
one
was,
of those.
It was a
movies?
Rabbids party game. I remembered that.
Yes, I remember I played it like on like we had like a bunch of families like rent a cabin, and somebody had it on some console.
I think it was a Mario.
probably the Wii.
I think it was a Mario
Probably.
Party clone. I'm pretty sure it was Rabbids Party or something like that.
Yeah.
Because I remember that game. What you're talking about? Because I can picture me playing that in the back of my
Yeah.
mind. And
Yeah.
now I'm.
So bad. Moving on from that to make everyone happy. Y'all keep talking about something.
Wait, the fact that that's getting movies actually like, I feel like they just give like they give everything a movie. Which is really annoying.
Netflix. Like, Netflix is such a hit or miss movie studio. at
So
this point.
is it a movie or is it a series?
It's a movie.
Oh.
Neither would be good. It's Rabbids.
Speaking
know,
of, hey,
but-
speaking
Rabbids is the definition of loud
okay,
equals
look,
funny,
this is what I'm saying.
but bad.
This
What if
is
it
what I'm
was
saying.
Minions
I
X
feel
Rabbids?
like you could pull off a Rabbids TV show a lot easier than
They did a Rabbids TV show.
I know, and it was all so terrible.
Yes, it
but
was.
It would be a lot better to try and reboot that than make an hour-and-a-half film where you're sitting down watching the adventures of Rabbids. Because
as I just said to Lucas, I'm looking for a Rabbids X Minions.
That's the
crossover.
problem. They're the exact same thing.
exactly.
Yeah.
They are like the difference is that the minions are haha funny cute. Is their selling point?
Rabbids are haha funny stupid.
No, the Rabbids selling point was loud equals funny.
Yes.
Except bad because loud does equal funny.
Well, it was loud equals funny, violence stupid like PG violence equals funny.
Yeah, and then
Plunger
some
on the forehead.
and then some gross out human.
Yeah.
We're getting a new Lego Star Wars game.
I've seen that. I'm excited. There's a lot of good things.
There's one very specific good sign. You can go into the settings and you
Mumble.
can turn off the voice acting so they mumble. Which
I
that
just-
is
Well,
awesome.
I
it
refuse
also
to play
like
it.
from what I've seen through the what
Games
I've
are
seen.
great.
Yeah, no.
Lego Star Wars are great. It's
No,
out
but
of principle that Disney ruined Star Wars.
Well, yeah, but from what I've seen from the Lego Star
Terrible
Wars
movies.
games, I'm pretty sure they built a new engine for it because it looks.
Of course they could. The last Lego game was like 4
That's
years
what I'm
ago.
saying. It looks so good,
They
though.
would have to. It's probably built in Unreal. I wouldn't be surprised.
I don't want to give money to Disney Star Wars. Like to the movies. I love the new TV shows. The movies. They ruin the Force, man. They ruin the Force. I spend my time watching movie
Finn
reviews
got
on
cheated.
them. So.
All I'm saying, he was such a great character.
Dude, the thing is, like, Rey wasn't even that bad of a character.
No,
she was
but-
a great character. They just made her so overpowered for
Everyone
no
gets the
reason.
Force now.
Well, it's like, okay, like, I just don't understand. They had her training in Rise of Skywalker, right?
Yeah.
Why was that not in The Force Awakens? Why? Why could she? If she would have just trained in the beginning, we would have been fine. Okay,
Disney in continuity?
you guys,
they're pretty good at
you
that.
guys really are gonna make me de-evolve now.
Oh,
Because I will go off the freaking rails for this.
So this is pulling back into the Microsoft thing we talked about earlier with Microsoft buying Activision Blizzard. Phil Spencer has been talking about reviving a bunch of old Activision series.
Like
I
what?
heard.
There's a
something
lot of
about
rumor
that.
about
Yeah.
Guitar Hero.
Yes.
And
Yes.
here's my hot take: Guitar Hero will not survive if it comes back.
No, it can't. How can it? Because you can't. Because now, for a game to like really be popular, what does it have to do? Has to be streamed. It will get DMCA'd all over the place.
It's not even that. You want to know because there are musical games that come out that are good that do popularly. I'm not going to name any of them because I can't think of them. But
Just Dance.
Just Dance does shockingly well. You'd be surprised.
Yes. As cringy as many adults. think,
Ubisoft does
kids
good with
love
that.
it,
Yeah. Here's why Guitar Hero won't come back, and it's the same reason it left. Guitar Hero relies so much on retail space. Like, you have to have the guitar, and that takes up a lot of retail space.
That's
the main
true.
reason why Activision stopped doing Guitar Hero was that the boxes for selling Guitar Hero took up so much space that it was just not profitable. The best way they could, the absolute best way they could do a Guitar Hero nowadays is it's a digital release. The game is digitally released, and you buy your guitar online. But even then, that's going to be an entry. That's going to be an entry barrier.
Yeah.
What if they made a guitar that they could package up where like the sides of it came off and like the neck of it came off, and
That's what they did. All the Guitar Hero guitars, they come in two pieces.
Yeah.
Mhm.
It's the body and the neck.
they could do it in the 4 though, theoretically, right?
No, because then you start suffering structural rigidity. The fact that I can take my Guitar Hero guitar right now, grab it by the neck, slam it into a hardwood floor, and it's perfectly fine. You've never played very much Guitar Hero, have you? That's a necessary part of playing Guitar Hero.
I was a Rock Band guy.
I think we move on.
Yeah.
What? Rock Band was a good game. What
I'm
are you
not saying it wasn't. I'm messing with him.
Move on before Riley.
What?
Nothing.
I think there's a lot of opportunity for good Activision games to come back.
I saw like a list of a couple, but I don't remember what the other ones were because I know Guitar Hero was on there.
You got to keep filling the air if I'm going to be looking for
I'm
news
trying.
bastards.
Do I need to look for?
No, because then that's two people being quiet.
Well, no, I can talk. Well,
I can just you guys can do this, and I can.
What else?
All right, go do it.
What else can we discuss? I'm trying to think.
We should have taken notes.
We should have. This is what happens when we see. But we were good for like the first hour 15. We should have just.
I got one.
What's up?
Cat ears and Halo.
Oh my! Don't get me started.
I love the joke that people gave Microsoft so much money with the cat ears and Halo that they could afford Activision.
It's that's a good meme.
Such a good joke. Next month, the Cuphead show comes out on Netflix.
I forgot they're making
Cuphead's getting a show, which is either going to be really good or god-awful.
When's that new game coming out?
I have no clue.
I know they announced the sequel.
I love that studio.
Mm-hmm.
Like, any studio that does hand-drawn animation, I absolutely adore. That game is never coming out. That game's going to have another hell development cycle.
Because I'm pretty sure they announced it at the Game Awards last year. Or I guess it would... Well, it's not this year. It is last year now. But it looks really good. I don't know if they're going to make it 3-player since you have 3 playable characters, which I doubt they would because, let's be honest, who wants to play a 3-player, not a 4-player game?
There's been a whole scientific article on player groupings and how 4 players is the perfect number.
Yeah.
It's always multiples of 2.
I thought that you were going to say there's been a whole scientific article on do people want to play a 3-player Cuphead game, and I was like, wow.
You'd be shocked.
I was like, that. What scientist wrote that?
So someone told that to the Respawn with Apex. That still works, but
I was gonna say I don't mind Apex trios.
I'm okay with trios mode. Give me a quads already because
I
there's
want
so many.
solos.
There are solos. There's solos, duos, and trios.
Not ranked.
Maybe not ranked, but
I got bad news that only me and 12 other people are going to be upset about.
What is it?
Stalker 2 got delayed to December.
I don't even know what that game is.
I know.
We'll play a Stalker game sometime. There's so much fun.
I know what we can talk about. Will you stall for time? My new addiction.
What's your new addiction?
Super Auto Pets.
I don't want to talk about that anymore.
Why? Wait, Super Auto Pets is...
It's such a bad game, but it's so addicting.
Well, no, because the thing is, like, it's going to be the meta because it's just so, like,
it's
chill.
It's so bad, though.
It's like how...
It's addicting.
What's the monkey game with the balloons?
Balloons Tower Defense.
Yeah, like how that blew up.
I need to get back into that game. The only difference is Super Auto Pets was free and Balloons Tower Defense 5 was not. And I needed like something I could just get with like no money.
You're gonna hate yourself for banging on the table so much, by the way.
I don't care.
So I feel like Super Auto Pets like is one of those games where like it's gonna be really popular because like so many streamers can just play it and like interact with their chat so much that like everyone's gonna want to do that because React Meta is going away.
I know.
I base everything that I think about the video game industry off Twitch, so that.
Oh, that
and
Twitch
YouTube
is the future, or currently. That's
Is
another rabbit hole I can go down.
Is
to.
Twitch the future?
No. Twitch is gonna be dead.
Yeah.
Does YouTube gaming take it over?
Yes.
I don't think it'll be called YouTube gaming by the time it takes over, but YouTube streaming software definitely will.
Because it's got the
because they're not prudes about all their stuff.
Well, but they have a detection software as well that protects them from getting
YouTube
sued.
also doesn't have their prized possessions that they look out for because I say this when you look at some of the recent controversy on Twitch with all these big streamers, so many of them are getting away scot-free, and then when you look at YouTube. One of the big streamers YouTube pulled, Ludwig. He got banned 3 times within his first 4 streams.
Okay,
XQC was watching some anime and protested the Pokemon stuff for like 4 days straight.
Exactly.
And didn't get in trouble.
Yeah,
That's what I'm saying.
I can't believe that is the meta now.
And
it's just watch anime on stream. That is so nuts.
This is, and once like this DMA and DMCA and copyright strike actually starts coming through from like, which I don't know if it ever will, but
there are some of those.
Time.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. But like over time, once these big companies start being like, "Hey, Twitch, no," stop.
There are some companies over in Japan that will, those anime companies over there will bring the hammer.
Once that happens, I see Twitch taking a big bump, and then they're gonna have to bring it up with the big streamers. Obviously, since they're babies, they're not gonna get in trouble, and then all these little smaller streamers are gonna get screwed over, and that's when a bunch of them start migrating to either YouTube or Facebook. We don't talk about Facebook
gaming, baby. Hey, I have a couple of streamers that I watch on Facebook gaming. A couple of FIFA streamers that I watch on Facebook gaming.
And that's why no one's heard of them.
Exactly.
They're FIFA streamers.
Hey, one of them has like 3 million subs on YouTube. He just got the bag to go
on YouTube.
Yeah, he's got the bag to go. Facebook paid him a lot of money to go and stream for 30 people every day.
What was didn't Disguise Toast? Was he on Facebook?
Yeah, he was. Yeah, he was. Now he's on.
How long until Google launches their own streaming software then goes away for like 3 months?
Wait, is YouTube not just owned by Google?
Oh yeah, dumb, stupid.
Well, it is, but like I could also see them like.
Yeah, I bet you what they'll do. I bet you what they'll do is Google will take the streaming chunk of YouTube, they'll grab it, and they'll give it some Google name.
Yeah.
They'll give it some dumb Google name.
StreamTube.
No, because it's not that dumb. It's always something that's got to be new and forward. Like how Stadia was new and forward, now it's dead.
Yeah.
Wait, no. Why would Google not just buy Twitch?
Because
Twitch is owned by Amazon.
Yeah.
They couldn't afford it.
Oh yeah, that's true.
And Amazon wouldn't sell it.
Wait, why not though? Because Twitch literally bleeds money. Amazon does not make money from Twitch. It is. Do you think about how many subs that they have to pay to their streamers that are Prime subs?
Do you also know YouTube, Amazon's legal team with selling and stuff?
Yeah, no.
Amazon is like Google. They would much rather kill it than sell it.
Amazon will let Twitch go 10 meters. Well, I don't know, 10 feet below the ground before they give it over to a competitor.
So yeah, I have a list of games that are coming up that are going to be coming up.
Let's get through this, and then we probably need to start wrapping up.
We have 20 minutes.
Yeah,
that's
minimum.
True.
We can make him run.
Yeah.
Because I have some good news for you too. As soon as this is done.
Oh Lord.
About something that Tanner was talking with us about on Friday.
Oh Lord.
4 days from now, January 28th, Pokemon Legends Arceus.
Yes, I'm excited. I was gonna bring.
We have to keep these to short comments, by the way.
Yeah. I was gonna bring that up. Riley, can I borrow your copy of Sword and Shield? Because I saw there are some exclusives. Not Sword and Shield. Brilliant Diamond or Pearl, whichever you have.
I may or may not have a physical copy of that.
Is it digital?
Yes.
Okay, that's fine. Well, so the thing I saw with those is, which kind of irked me, but you get, I don't remember what Pokemon, but you get a legendary, you get an outfit if you own, let's go, Pikachu or Eevee. You get Shaman, towards somewhere in the game, you can unlock Shaman ground form if you had Sword or Shield, and then you can get Darkrai if you owned.
So I've got 2 of those 3.
Yeah, I need.
I've got Sword and I've got Brilliant Pearl. So
I need to get.
I've got Let's Go Eevee.
There, dude, you've got the Holy Trinity right here.
Do you have the hard copy?
Yeah.
Bro, just pass that over because you don't even have to have it complete. It just said if you have any save.
It just has to check the
save game file and but I want to get the one.
Wait, then just sign. You can just sign. Give me your.
Okay, that's enough on that. Cause we're never gonna get through this.
We've got
I'm a
February
Pokemon
10th,
nerd.
Kingdom Hearts games are coming to Switch.
Why were they not on Switch?
Because it took a while. They announced them
because
back when
Disney.
they dropped Sora, but it took them a while.
Keep talking, though there's not much else to talk about it.
You said you had a rapid fire and we needed to keep these
After
short.
rapid fire, but there's a bunch of here that no one's heard of. Pathfinder Rite of the Righteous for PlayStation 4.
I thought it was going to be Apex Legends.
PS4 of this?
Yeah, PlayStation 4 and Xbox One. It's coming out last gen March 1st.
Wow, that's crazy.
I've never heard of that game. Gran Turismo 7 is coming out on March 7th. I'm actually excited for that.
That's dope.
Being the only person that cares about racing games.
Yeah.
I heard Forza has a BR now. Is that true?
Oh, Forza had a Battle Royale in Horizon 4.
Is it good?
It's so good. It's not good in that it's full and fleshed out and that it's a really good Battle Royale.
Oh, here's one I just found. Nintendo Switch outsells PlayStation 1 worldwide.
Yeah, sounds about right. It's not good. It's not good in that it's it's a full, complete experience that is fun every single time, and it's just an overall good experience. It's good because it's funny.
Would you compare it to GeoGuessr Battle Royale?
Yes, in that I can drive my $7 million supercar off-road through a cornfield through Mexico to get from point A to point B. Because if you race on the roads in the Battle Royale, you lose.
That's kind of hype, actually.
It's so funny.
Wait.
And that's intentionally how it's been.
I
set up.
kind of want to play this now.
It's so good.
I actually really want to play this now.
I think it's on the computer upstairs. Oh wait, no, it's on one of the stage. Well, no,
I was gonna say
after the stream.
Well,
Yeah, we can
you just re-download it.
Yeah. It's so much fun.
I'm seeing news about Sea of Thieves this week is doing a preview event, and it's going to have a lot of info for their updates for 2022.
I would like to play Sea of Thieves. I've never played it.
You
I've never played it.
You
But
need to get a party though.
Yeah, the problem is
you
need 4 people to play Sea of Thieves.
Gotcha. See, it's
Let's
I'm having
squad
such.
up. I'm down.
I'm super down for that. Like I have a hard time like playing new games like. Just because there's so much out right now.
There's a bunch I'd suggest with friends. Sea of Thieves is really fun with friends. Most like comp games I play are a lot better with friends. So like Valorant, Halo.
Yeah.
Back 4 Blood is a lot of fun.
Yeah, I need to get that one. I'm really poor right now.
Dude,
but,
I wanna start playing New World again. Is what I want to do.
No,
I like New World. Or I want to find a group of people that want to restart the OSRS grind and get back on the RuneScape vibe.
I'm in for the meme.
Hey.
New Kirby game comes out March 25th. Kirby and the Forgotten Land. I am so hyped because it's a Kirby game. And it can't be bad.
It's open world. I'm pretty sure. Like a bit. Have you not seen the trailer?
I've seen this. I remember.
That's what it did. I'm also.
You get to have a cafe with Waddle Dees. I've seen that picture.
I'm also excited.
I'm in.
I'm also excited because along with that, it's not this year, but at the Game Awards, sometime they revealed the new Sonic 3D game.
I don't care. It's Sonic.
Yeah, I don't really care.
I heard that was not going to be very good.
It's really cool to start seeing like Nintendo involved. I say Nintendo, but that's because it's probably coming out on the Switch. Would be my guess.
Where else would it go?
Yeah. But it's really cool seeing Nintendo finally like branching out into more open world games because like. For a while, we didn't really have what I consider open world on Nintendo. I'd say like their first like on-brand Nintendo was Mario Odyssey, but even that you're limited to just the world.
It's not truly open world. It's like, open world segments.
Yes, but like now you're seeing games like they recently ported the GTA trilogy, which is open.
Wait, what? GTA's on Switch?
I don't want to talk about the GTA remake.
Oh yeah,
I don't want to talk about.
Okay, so
GTA
what I heard is like they literally just like on like what Vice City or whatever, like the rain on there is literally just like a Snapchat filter.
There's so much bad stuff.
Is it that bad?
It's so.
Is
bad.
it really that?
Okay, imagine you have San Andreas, a beautiful game, full of character and life, so
And
much
cheat
fun,
codes,
so
baby.
much serious stuff. It's like the perfect blend of comedy and real. It's really good. Now take that and rip out all of the visual character, and make it disgustingly buggy.
I mean, it's a great way to make money because they
If
don't want to make GTA 6 for some reason.
If you ride a bike in first person in the San Andreas remake and turn around to look at yourself, they didn't bother rendering a first person model. You see your character's head this close away.
That's so disappointing.
It's quality.
The rain is a screen filter. It's not a world filter. As far as I think there's a little bit of
quality
world stuff. The models are actually disgusting. There is so much attention to detail in San Andreas that they've just glossed over. That they've just decided we're not going to bother with.
How do you mess like you've had so long, and like I understand that they're adding like content to GTA Online, but like how do you mess up remaking those games?
It's because they don't care anymore.
Well, it's that, and the other thing you have to think of is the Switch isn't as like I know like PlayStation wise, they definitely could have, but like the Switch hardware wise,
if the Switch can run Doom at 30 FPS,
that's true.
It can run any San Andreas.
But why was it so bad? Like even like. Not even thinking about the Switch. Why was it so bad when it came out on PC? And why was it so bad when it came out on...
They don't care. They just do not care.
They're lazy and do it for the money.
It was a money grab, and it just
disappointing. That's just disappointing.
So they're going to keep doing it.
Do you think when do you think we'll get GTA 6? That's the
not.
question. You don't think we'll ever get it?
We probably will. It'll be years from now. I think we got another at least good 3 years before we get a GTA 6. I genuinely think we got 3 more years.
But to be fair, though, I feel like if we're
we'll get another Grand Theft Auto game as soon as online stops giving them money. Cutting off there.
We need to start wrapping this up because I just noticed we're out of storage on that camera.
Yeah, we're good.
Yeah,
we've got 2 more cameras, but I'd rather.
I have to talk to you guys before I go to class. So, like, if we could like actually just like throw down like the outro right now, because I need to talk to you guys about this going forward now because I have great news for you.
Oh,
okay. Well, I think that's gonna do it for us here on the podcast. We're thankful that you guys tuned in, and I guess we'll catch you guys later. Bye bye.
Why the heck are we making the guest outro?
Because it's funny. Is there anything you want to plug?
Braves _ Esports on Twitch.
So you shill.
No, let's
How much
see.
did Sergio pay you to say that?
Let's see. Personal plugs? I mean, you can
Go for
you
it.
can follow me on Twitch, @RileyABaller. Follow me on Twitter, @RileyABaller as well. You get some really good hot takes about Boise State sports.
Are there any like
which is always fun.
underscores or dashes I need to know, since I'm probably the one stuck linking all of this?
Nope, just capital R Riley, capital A, capital B Baller. V _ Riley _ Boyd on Instagram if you want to check out my just really good pictures with my wife, I guess. I don't know.
He's got some quality tweets, I'll say that much.
Depends on who you ask.
I don't mind them.
Most of my tweets are okay. Like I said, I like to tweet about sports a lot, so Lucas probably wouldn't like it too much.
I might also be on the cringier side of Twitter, so like getting back to reality a little bit.
Wait, you're on the
So before we have a conversation about Twitter,
Yeah.
thank you guys so much for joining us. We'll see you next time.